Have you ever been broke? Not just, I don't have a whole lot of money in my pocket right now, broke, but really broke. Like your bank account has just not very good. You don't want to think about it anymore, and you just want to forget how broke you are. I can remember a couple of years ago, I was down in Texas and my car broke down. I had to total it out, and I only got paid once a month because of the way that the pay structure was set up. I was broke. I was eating ramen noodles for like a week because I didn't have money. And that's the way Dave Ramsey starts out his book, Entreleadership. Now it's backwards because I'm doing the front-facing camera this time around, but Dave Ramsey, the man who founded Financial Peace University and sells so many people all around the country on how to become better with your finances, was broke, just flat out broke at one point in his life. And he talks in the intro of this book, Entreleadership, about the spirit of learning from your mistakes and becoming better step by step. And that's really what this book is about. It's the mashup, the title Entreleadership comes from the mashup of entrepreneur and leader. And those two things, of leader, his definition of leader being a proven person in leadership of an organization, and an entrepreneur, one who strikes out and tries to do their own thing regardless of the success or failure of that project. So that's what I want to talk with you guys about today. We'll talk a little bit about, well, what my need is for reading this book and what you might find yourself in the same situation. We'll talk about the satisfaction of this book, the things that it covers, and what it might look like for you after you've read it. Hopefully where we can get to together by taking the lessons from this book and jumping into them. So first of all, I was recommended this book because I'm looking at starting my own business in the next couple months here. And the person that I was talking to said they have read this book on audio. They went through it on audiobook a couple times and read it in person and just gleaned so much as they started their own agency. And I picked it up on that recommendation. So I can say without a doubt that fulfilled my wish of this book, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But Dave Ramsey wrote this book for people who want proven leadership tips and entrepreneurial success and failure stories from the trenches for over the 20 years that he's been in business and grown his business from just him and his wife to teams that do national events all across the United States of America and have brought thousands of people better financial thinking. He has a nationally syndicated radio show, does all this different sort of things, interviews all over the place. People turn to him for information from so many sources. I mean, I could just read you some of the recommendations from the front of this book. People like Zig Ziglar and Bill Hybels and Mike Huckabee and, just back and forth, and Andy Stanley, and all these different people have said Dave Ramsey knows what he's talking about. And that bears it out in this book here. I just wrote down a quick list of things that he talks about in this book. Man, he talks about personality styles, technology changes, compensation structure, leadership versus management, hiring, firing, cash on hand, taxes, selling, mechanics of actually starting a business, how much you should save in your first year of doing business, how much you should keep on hand in case taxes come around, that sort of thing. This book, man, it gets into it. It gets down and dirty, but it's great. It's entertaining, and I recommend it for people that are looking at starting their own business. So now that we've talked a little bit about my need and the need that somebody might have wanting to read this book, and the way that this actually directly goes into that process and goes into it. I mean, guys, I read this book and I can say there's at least 3 things that I pulled out knowing that I'm probably gonna be starting a business here pretty quick. And I'm like, man, that is a pothole that I'm gonna be able to avoid because of things that I learned from Entreleadership with Dave Ramsey. So that being said, I highly recommend it if you're thinking about starting a business, or even if you just have entrepreneurial tendencies or want to talk to your boss about maybe how to get a raise. You could think about the compensation plans in this book where you can get into it on adding compensation structures like commission or draws, that sort of thing, to your salary, that sort of thing. It's really solid teaching. So those are the main reasons why someone would jump into it. One, if you're starting a business. Two, if you want to just kind of put some more EntreLeadership, if you will, into your current job. But I highly encourage you guys to check it out. Thank you so much for watching this short video. I will catch you next week for episode 26. Not sure what I'm going to be reading next week yet. I think it's going to be The Inevitables by Kevin Kelly. So thanks for watching, subscribing, liking on Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll catch you next week.